Hello. I read yesterday a poem by Gary Snyder, which I recited at the Writers' Rebel event during the Extinction Rebellion rising in October last year. And I'm going to be really self-indulgent and read one of the other poems that I read that day, which is by me. Now, I'm not a poet, and I know it, but just occasionally the urge comes over me. And many years ago, I had the great privilege of being a writer at the International Writing Program in Iowa. And I really wanted, along with my friend, the journalist and environmentalist Paddy Woodworth, who was also a guest on the program, I really wanted to see the prairies. But they've almost entirely gone. Iowa is the most ecologically altered state in the United States. Less than 1% of its tallgrass prairies remain. One of the few places where you can, at least in theory, see that biome is a cemetery not far from Iowa City called Rochester Cemetery. But when we went to visit Rochester Cemetery to see the prairie plants, they had all been cut down. This poem was a response to that particular moment, but more generally a recognition that it's very tempting to see malevolence in destruction of the natural world, but often it's more complicated than that. The poem is called In Rochester Cemetery. The clouds disperse, and every stalk of tall and fallen prairie grass wears shining gems of molten glass under the red oaks where we walk. Here tombstones gnawed by heat and frost bear names of settlers at their rest, who by their old interment blessed this grove with what the nations lost. Yet where we hoped to glimpse at last a vestige of the grassland sea that bison knew, unhappily we find a strimmer's whip has passed, to leave, unharvested and dry, a biome's ghost, the untilled soil where after years of stubborn toil, conqueror and conquest lie. Though vanquished weeds had grown above the vanished dead, and some would save a prairie, some their forebears' grave. The common ground in this is love.